Hello lovely people and welcome to my first, I think, Asian Readathon vlog. I'm not sure if the second one will be mainly focused around books, like I might try to make it into a weekly vlog. We'll see how many books I can fit into this, but otherwise, welcome to my Asian Readathon vlog. I'm really excited. If you're new here, hello, my name is Noah. I'm a bookish and lifestyle vlogger born and raised and still based in New York City. If that sounds like of any interest to you, I would absolutely love it if you would stick around and subscribe if you so please. I actually finished my first read already, or actually it's kind of late because it's like the 7th already, and I had a book that was overdue at the library that I needed to complete and a book for school that were not by Asian authors and don't fit into any of the prompts for this readathon. So the book that I read is a graphic memoir. This is Year of the Rabbit by Tian, Veasna, and this fulfills the 5th prompt of read any book written by an Asian author that is not US-centric, and this takes place in Cambodia. The author was born 3 days into the Khmer Rouge takeover of Cambodia, and it's about his family's survival during that time. It was very heavy. There is a family tree in here. I did start a little bit of it last night, like 30 pages or so, 50 pages, and then I read the chunk of it today, hoping that I could go to the library, which ended up being closed, so I didn't make it out there. But there's a family tree in this book because there are a lot of characters, but it did get confusing because there's not a lot of like name using, so I got very confused about which characters were being shown and portrayed. But it was a really like harrowing story. They were imprisoned by the Khmer Rouge and put into labor camps to work for like most of the day, like 15+ hour work days of hard labor basically. The Khmer Rouge, it was a communist party, I believe, and when they took over the country, they were pushing people out of major cities, and it resulted in about 1 million people dying, and that's not even including people who died during the 4 years that they reigned. There was a whole pie chart of what happened, and if I can't even find it, but it was really sad and heavy because, you know, this deals with a lot of death, a lot of cruelty, and basically the Cambodian people didn't have any control over their lives at this point because shortly after, when they thought they were saved, they were actually being occupied by Vietnam as well, so they needed to survive that. And later his family, immediate family at least, escaped to France and applied for asylum. Some made their way out to Canada and stuff like that. So I'm really glad that I was able to read this, but because it was nonfiction and quite heavy, I think that for my next read I'm going to go into a YA contemporary romance, Yes, No, Maybe So by Aisha, Saeed, and Becky Albertalli, to fulfill the prompt of read any book featuring an Asian protagonist, which would be Maya Rahman. She is Muslim, and author at least is Pakistani American, so I don't know if the character is as well, but we will see. And like I said, this book was by a Cambodian author, and this one will be by a Pakistani American author. I might read a little bit now just to rest my eyes because finals is coming up, or like I'm working on my finals papers, so I finished an assignment today, handed that in, and then I was going to work on another one because that's due on Monday. It's basically just an extension of assignment that we've already done, so it's mostly just editing and then creating my own ad. Yeah, I'm gonna rest my eyes because I do not want any headaches. It's been quite a day. It's already like 4 p.m. and I had meant to film some montage type clips when I went out to the farmer's market this morning, but it ended up raining. I went to the library then, and then we came home, had lunch. We went to the liquor store, so I've been out a lot and I haven't been drinking too much water. I think that's why my head hurts today. Last night though, I did read Yes, No, Maybe So, but I wanted to show y'all. So I have this part of my room piled with books, and these are all library books that I need to get to. I wanted it to be more organized, so I cleared up my shelves to have it actually all of it be in alphabetical order. So this is what they look like, and for a while I had all of my unread books here, but it was just a little bit too confusing because I had some books that I had read over here, and so I just put everything back into alphabetical order. Now I want to keep my series together, so some books that like were in between here so I couldn't keep reading Dawn, I've just like put next over here, but it's all double stacked back here. I don't have space because I have these books up here and stuff, and this space, but this is my book of the month shelf. And then the new thing that I did was, so I organized here so it's all my library books. This is like books that I'm reading this month, but also books that I'm going to do for a haul video that should be coming up next week, I believe. Books there are books that that are on my Depop right now, that's always in my description box, and eventually if they're up for long enough and they're not selling, I'm just gonna throw them into my little free library. The newest edition is this. So these are all my unread books. There are some back there as well, but these are all the books that I need to read. I considered putting them in rainbow order, but for now they're alphabetical. I'm just anal like that. I prefer it that way. And yeah, now I can utilize the space because I'm running out. So yesterday, I totally had forgotten that I read Year of the Rabbit yesterday, so I read a huge chunk of that. So yesterday I read a lot of pages, actually, maybe like 430, because I did read 150 pages of Yes, No, Maybe So. I have obviously met both characters, and both characters have met each other at this point. This is about Jamie and Maya. Jamie is Jewish American and Maya is Pakistani American, and both of them have been recruited to do some canvassing for a local Senate campaign, and they're working together. It's better because Jamie is not good at speaking to people. Maya had been promised that if she continues to do canvassing, her parents will buy her a car. The two used to be best friends or something in like kindergarten, at daycare or whatever. I'm not yet up to the romance part where they start to like each other, but there was a part where, because they're canvassing, they're running into a lot of people, and they're supposed to be mostly independent and Democrats to try to get them to vote for this senator. But the name that they got on the sheet was wrong. It was the landlord, and the tenant there was obviously not a Democrat, and he was saying really racist things to Maya, or at least to Jamie, as if Maya wasn't there. Jamie, being someone who can't really speak up and is really shy about talking to people, talking in front of people, he really didn't know what to say. And I think that's already is a really difficult thing to do even as an adult. And so at 17 years old, I think they are 16, 17, that's also really hard. And so these two are bonding. It's cute so far. I'm enjoying it. I'm not like overly in love with it or anything, but I'm enjoying it, and because it's YA, it's really easy to get through. Right now my head is fucking killing me, but I am going to finish this final assignment today. I feel like the professor made it sound a lot more convoluted than it really is, so I actually don't have too much to do for it because I did finish creating the ad yesterday. I need to go out to a meeting at 10 today in like an hour, and hopefully I can get in a lot of reading done tonight as well. It would be awesome if I finished this book today, but it feels really unrealistic. I don't know how well y'all can hear me because the laundry's going, but I read maybe 130-ish pages last night. I just wanted to be able to finish this because I had a little bit over 100 pages left or something, so I just finished this, and I really enjoyed this. I feel like the relationship portion, I mean, it is YA, of Maya and Jamie wasn't like the main part. It was definitely in the last 100 pages that I read, and them navigating their cross-cultural relationship is like a really minor part about it. I think I'm gonna give this book 4 stars, and I love Jamie and Maya's friendship. I read the author's note. Both authors live in Atlanta, Georgia with their families, and this was like based off of real experiences that they had. After the 2016 election in Georgia, at least, they were experiencing a lot of anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. There was an actual proposed bill that would effectively ban Muslim women from wearing hijab in public, and that was in this book as well. So they decided that both of them, they were going to canvass for John Ossoff, who was going to run. It says, we immediately threw ourselves into the campaign, and they had never done that before, but they believed in something. Although he had lost this election, he is now the senator of Georgia. Democrat Lucy McBath defeated the Republican incumbent in the 2018 midterm elections, and she's the first Democrat to represent our district in 4 years. There's hope hold it tight and keep fighting. And I think that's a beautiful message, especially with this having been published in 2020. I love the message that it had, that, you know, you can overcome, you can fight, and the really important message of also how life is, that you can put your whole heart into something and not everything's going to turn out the way that you want it to, but that doesn't mean give up. It means try harder for next time and to keep pushing through it until you get the result that you want. I'm really happy now I'm done with my second book for the readathon. I definitely will be trying to pick something up for tonight, but I don't know which ones. Oh, I can show you the 2 books that I went to pick up at the library yesterday. I guess I'm just all about sitting on the floor today, but the books that I got were this one, The Beekeeper. Oh, that is like straight up torn. This is a little bit shorter than I thought. And then I also got The Silence of Bones. For the prompts, at least, The Silence of Bones was for reading a book in my favorite genre, because this is a mystery thriller. This one is nonfiction, just like Year of the Rabbit. This book fulfills the prompt of read any nonfiction book written by an Asian author. This author is Iraqi, and the author of Silence of Bones is Korean. So I'm really pumped. I don't know if these 2 will be the next ones that I read, because I do have other books from the library. So the other 2 books on my shelves are actually these 2. This one is for the first prompt of reading just any book by an Asian author. This is a backup though, so probably not these. So I have these 3 to read. This is my book of the month pick actually, which is also by an Asian author, so I'm really happy about that. And it was compared to Infinite Country, and I obviously enjoyed that if you saw my vlog about it. If I got to it this month, I would prefer to do so because it's my May pick. Coda always helps me pick what books to read next, so I just sent him a photo with like a really quick synopsis of what each book is about. And while I wait for that, because I don't think I will get to reading right away, I do have a final paper to work on. Like I said, I did yesterday. I ended up not getting too much done because the entire class seemed a little bit confused about what to include, and the emails that students were writing to her, the professor's responses to people's confused emails just were not clear. I'm gonna get on top of that because it's due tomorrow. And then I just have a journalism worksheet, but I don't even need to hand in. So then I have the whole day ahead of me. It's Mother's Day, but my mom is heading into the office today. But I did make her some lunch today, but I guess we're doing work now. Alrighty, it's Monday and I need to start wrapping up this vlog, but I wanted to get at least one more book in. Last night I read like 100-ish pages of My Year of Meats by Ruth Ozeki, which is fulfilling the prompt of just any book by an Asian author. She is Japanese American, and this book is following 2 different women, half American, half Japanese woman named Jane, and she's working on this Japanese television show that's sponsored by an American meat exporting business, and she finds out this truth about hormones in their meats. And then there's a woman in Japan named Akiko who watches this show, or her husband is connected to the show in some way, and her husband just really wants like kids, and she just is struggling in her marriage. Their lives are supposed to intersect somehow, and it's showing the deepest concerns of our time are illuminated, how the past informs the present, and how we live and love in an ever-shrinking world. I'm not very far obviously, but this is kind of weird. It goes back and forth between the 2 women obviously. As a Japanese person, the cultural differences I'm seeing I can obviously relate to. I understand them. There are some parts that are written in Japanese and then translated, but I'm like seeing from both lenses, I guess. So I'm curious to see how a non-Japanese person would perceive this book. It's sort of confusing. I don't really know how to describe it. We'll see if I can do a better job once I get further into it, but I do hope that I can read at least half of this today, and we'll see where this goes, because so far for this readathon, I'm feeling pretty good. This week was really hectic, so I didn't actually get a lot of reading done as I wanted to, but I'm definitely over halfway through of this, and I do need to upload my video today, this vlog, so I'm coming up here to just wrap everything up. I was able to read a lot of pages. Let me check how much. I've read a total of 1,059 pages, which I'm actually kind of impressed about. It's definitely because I read a lot with the first 2 books. I do have like 80 pages of this left, which I hope to finish today. It's just that Monday I have my last 2 finals, so I will be done for the semester, and hopefully for the latter half of the month I can get a lot of reading done for this readathon, and it's exactly how I predicted it. I think I'm gonna start a fresh vlog on Monday or Tuesday depending on how busy my day is on Monday, because I have back-to-back finals. But this book is like really weird. I almost don't even want to rate it at this point because it's getting a lot darker than I thought it would, because it's talking about hormones in the meat and how DES specifically that they're talking about is legal in the US. It's weird. But yeah, I'm gonna end off this vlog because I do need to upload it today. I have these 3 books. I'm really excited to finish off the last 3 prompts and read some of my backups as well for next few vlogs, so I hope we can look forward to that. Let me know what you're reading for this readathon. I promise better content is coming, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.